We are 2 days away from South Carolina football, and you know what that means? It's time for me to give my South Carolina versus Vanderbilt preview and prediction video. Let's go. What is up, everyone? Your boy, SECFT, back with another video for you guys today. And today I'm giving my preview and prediction for South Carolina Vandy this weekend at 7:45 p.m. on SEC Network. I appreciate every single one of you tuning in, and I hope you're all having a great day. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. I cover South Carolina football every single year, and I love to have you around for the ride as well. But without further ado, let's get into the video. South Carolina Vandy, under the lights at Williams-Brice in a sold-out environment. Diego Pavia and the Commodores come to town, and boy, there's been a lot of chirping from the doors heading into this one. From Diego Pavia going on and busting with the boys podcast during the summer, talking about how he's got this game circled, to one of their offensive linemen talking about Dylan Stewart is whatever. From Pavia telling I show speed to break the team down with F South Carolina, I'm not going to say the word, to their players really saying they're going to come in here and dominate and win this game, man. Boy, if you listen to the Vanderbilt fans on the internet, you think they're favored by 4 touchdowns, honestly. They listen, this is a confident team. Vandy's riding a lot of confidence. They think they're going to go out there and dominate everyone. And listen, as a former football player myself, I can respect that. Because, guys, let me tell you something. And those of you who played football too knows. You go into every single game expecting to win. You do. You go into every single game expecting to win. And I can respect the confidence. I can respect the chirping a little bit too, not going to lie. But, you know the saying. If you're going to chirp, you got to back it up. Vandy will have the chance to back it up on Saturday night at Williams-Brice. And guys, I got to tell you, this feels like a big game. This has the feels of a big game. From the chirping of Vanderbilt to the media doubt and even the fan doubt of the Gamecocks because of how they've started offensively the last 2 games. And to this point, guys, South Carolina's played Virginia Tech and SC State thus far. This is the first big test. Listen, guys, this is a good Vanderbilt team coming in. This is not the Vandy team you're used to seeing. This is a Vandy team that is full of confidence and full of talented players. Believe it or not, it's not just a one-man show in Nashville. They got some guys that can beat you. And listen, again, I'm a realist, so I'm going to say it. This offense has to get better. They absolutely do. Because listen, I've heard it all week long. Well, you know, the game plan's been vanilla. We're not showing everything against SC State. And again, did I expect South Carolina to show everything against SC State? No. But again, you still got to go out there and block the guy in front of you. And listen, guys, the offensive line thus far, it's been bad again. Listen, I don't think some people truly understand just how important the offensive line is to a football team. Your offensive line, the way they play, impacts the entire offense and how it flows. Can't have a good running game without an offensive line, folks. Carolina ain't been able to move the ball very well. I mean, the run block has been poor. The pass blocking has been poor. And it was that against SC State. Guys, no matter what you say, that's a problem. It has got to be fixed. And again, I'm not giving up on this football team, so don't try to derive that from the message I'm telling you. The only thing I'm telling you is the offensive line's got to play better. And yeah, SC State is known for having good defenses. They are, but at the same time, guys, you're an SEC offensive line. Like, you should be able to handle that. You really should. Because the MEAC, or whatever conference they play in, should not be able to push around a SEC offensive line. I'm sorry. Again, much love and respect to SC State, but offensive line's got to get better, bro. Because I'm hearing about communication issues from the players in press conferences and about how we need to practice harder. Something's got to change. Something's got to change in that regard because, again, guys, your offensive line, it don't matter who you got back there, bro. If you don't got good protection, if you don't have good blocking, it's hard to be that guy and it's hard to get a lot of sustained success. And, we talked about our defense. Defense, so far, we've looked pretty good. Still, our starter still hasn't given up a touchdown this season yet. Of course, they're going to be tested this weekend. That's going to be tested. Diego Pavia, he's a fantastic quarterback, guys. He could tear it up down the field. He's a good scrambler, too. He can make plays. He absolutely tore up that Virginia Tech defense. And again, he's a dangerous quarterback, and he's had this game circled. So South Carolina's got to be ready for him. Vandy's running game ain't a joke either. They rushed for 262 yards against Virginia Tech. Now, I'm not sure how to say his full name, so I'm just going to call him Mac Young. 8 carries, 95 yards, 1 touchdown. Cedric Alexander, 10 carries, 73 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And again, Diego Pavia, we have 11 carries for 61 yards, so he could do it too. So South Carolina's going to need to contain Vandy's running game here. And at receiving, we got Bryson Coleman, Trey Richardson, and even Eli Stowers at tight end that could be very dangerous. Eli Stowers, someone I've been talking about for a while. So Vandy's got some threats at the receiving game as well. They have some threats on this offense that can be very dangerous for the South Carolina defense. And again, Carolina's defense has done pretty good so far, but this is going to be a test for them. And Vandy's defense is going to once again pose some challenges for South Carolina's offense. And look, this is the biggest challenge thus far for both teams so far this season. Vandy's played a cupcake, then they played Virginia Tech. They struggled in the first half against Virginia Tech, but they went lights out in the second half and beat them 44-20. Pitched a shutout in the second half, and they just went off. 34 unanswered points. But South Carolina can also be dangerous on offense, especially if they can get some help from their offensive line. Oscar Attaway and Rasul Faison, they can pound it. Lenore Sellers can be dangerous, especially with the design runs. And a guy like Nick Harbor, he's a deep ball threat. Some of South Carolina's tight ends as well can be very dangerous. Dre Jacobs, Donovan Murph, we've seen it, even Mazio Bennett. South Carolina's got a capable offense. Problem is, they got to have help from their offensive line. Is this the week that we finally see it? Is this the week that we see changes with this offensive line and they play a better game? We'll see. I sure to hell hope so, guys. I sure hope so. Creating turnovers is another thing South Carolina really needs to do well. Because again, common cliche, but it's true. Winning the turnover margin helps you out significantly. Containing Pavia, winning the turnover margin, getting some protection and helping your offense flow. Do all those things, and I like your chances to have a very fun Saturday night. Guys, I truly think this will be a fun and very close game. I really do. The atmosphere is going to be incredible. Both teams are going to be fired up. Both teams are on a mission this season. And after everything we've seen, I think this is going to be a full-on war at Williams-Brice Stadium. Vandy, again, they're a team that's coming in with a lot of confidence. They've been chirping a lot heading into this game. They're a confident team. And I got to say, Vandy does have an opportunity here, guys. This is an upset game. They can absolutely upset South Carolina if the Gamecocks don't come out ready and they look how they've looked offensively the last couple weeks. They can get the Gamecocks here. And, guys, Vandy, if they win this game, they'll be 3-0. And they got Georgia State and Utah State next. They have an opportunity to be 5-0 heading into Tuscaloosa for that Bama game. A game that, by the way, they won last year. So there's an opportunity for Vanderbilt too. And especially the chance to get a 16-year losing streak off your back. Guys, South Carolina has beaten Vanderbilt 16 years in a row. They have not lost to Vandy since 2008. I want you all to take a moment and just think to yourself, where were you in 2008? What were you doing in 2008? What was your life like in 2008? Maybe some of you watching weren't even born yet. I was just starting kindergarten. I'm 22 now, going on 23 in a couple months. If you're a parent of a child my age, that means your kid was likely 5 or 6 years old the last time that happened, and now they're in their 20s. It's been a complete and utter domination of the doors by the Gamecocks. And it really hasn't mattered how good or bad both teams have been. Because, boy, there's been a lot of bad South Carolina teams along that ride. But there's also been the best teams to ever do it along that ride as well. But as we all know, that streak will not last forever. Streaks don't last forever, folks. One day that streak will end. Vandy's going to beat South Carolina one day. Is this the year? You know, guys, I just talked about how Vandy has an opportunity to do something, but South Carolina does too because, I'll be honest, after the last 2 weeks, there's some doubt now. Among the national media, there's some doubt among the fan base. Some people truly believe that Vanderbilt's going to come in here and smack South Carolina. There is a lot of hype around Vanderbilt, and there's some, South Carolina might not be as good as we thought talks out there. And I've made it very clear, if South Carolina plays the way they played, Vandy can absolutely win this game. But guys, South Carolina, and if you've watched South Carolina football long enough, you know this. When they're being doubted, when they're being disrespected, that's when they play their best football. And you know, there are still some love for South Carolina. There are still people out there picking Carolina to beat Vanderbilt. But there are also quite a bit of voices who think South Carolina's overrated. Vanderbilt's going to come in there and they're going to win big. And there's even been some panic among the fan base about this offense. But guys, who remembers last year? South Carolina didn't look very good against Old Dominion. Should have honestly lost that game. Everyone panicked and they came out and they beat Kentucky. I'm not saying this is going to be 31-6. But I just got this feeling that South Carolina is going to show up on Saturday night. And they're going to play a better game than we've seen them play all year long. Because it's usually when South Carolina feels disrespected, when they're playing their best football, and there's been some disrespect. There's been some chirp. There's been a lot of bulletin board material by Vandy and their fans. And I'm just going to say this. Look, the team can say whatever they want, but if you don't think for a second they haven't been hearing the disrespect and the doubt, they have. And I just feel like this team is going to come out with a massive chip on their shoulder. And this team is still talented. People act like this team sucks. Guys, the offensive line is the reason we haven't really looked this good. South Carolina's got a talented offense. They've got a talented football team. And if we can get some help, you'll see it. And I just got this feeling Carolina comes out here and plays well. I just do. Again, I'm not disrespecting or sleeping on Vanderbilt because I've said if South Carolina doesn't change something, if we come out looking bad again, I think you'll lose this game. But I think they play their best football of the season thus far. And another thing I think that goes into your advantage here, you got this game at home at night. And South Carolina under Shane Beamer, they've only lost one SEC game at home at night. And that was to Kentucky in 2021. So South Carolina's done really well at home at night under Shane Beamer. And while I think this is going to be a dogfight, I truly do. I don't think it's going to be 28-7 like it was last year. I think Carolina wins the game. I got South Carolina winning this one 24-17. I think it's close. I think South Carolina gets a late score to seal the deal. I got South Carolina winning 17 straight over Vanderbilt and getting a 24-17 win at night at the Bryce. But I will tell you, do not sleep on Vandy. This is a team that can very well win this football game. And listen, again, Vandy and their fans, they're confident, and I respect the trash talk. And I'm not talking trash until after the game, but all I'm going to say is, if South Carolina beats Vandy, I'm coming for blood on Twitter. I'm absolutely coming for blood on Twitter. But anyways, forget about my prediction because that's not the one that matters. I'm just an idiot with a microphone. It's time for Pet Picks. That's right, you guys know my opinion doesn't matter, but theirs do. It's time for my two beautiful fur babies to come on here and make their picks. And so far, they are a perfect 2-0. But as we all know, that's going to be challenged as the season goes along. You can't be perfect all the time. But anyways, let's see what they got to say about this one. All right, Cody, who's it going to be? Cody to make his pick again. He's trying to decide. He's going to go with Carolina for this one. Attaboy, Cody. Attaboy. Here she comes to make her pick. Who's it going to be? Oh, no. Amelia's going with Vanderbilt to snap the streak. Oh, man. Oh, man. I hope you're wrong. All right, so both of the pets picks are in, and we got a difference of opinion here, y'all. Cody going with the Gamecocks, and Amelia, unfortunately, going with Vanderbilt to win this one. Both of them coming in here at a perfect 2-0, so one of them will be wrong and will take their first L of the season, but one of them will go undefeated. Hopefully it's Cody, because I really don't want Amelia's pick to come true, bro. Please, no. But anyways, that's going to do it for Pet Picks, y'all. We'll see you again for next week when we do it again. And anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this whole video. This video's gone on a lot longer than I wanted it to, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you all so much for watching. Your boy, SCCFT, checking out. Go Gamecocks, win 17 straight, and show Vandy who daddy is once again.